What's going on, guys? I'm reading the Meditations, Marcus Aurelius, and I've gotten somewhere in book three that I felt like I wanted to share, or at least, put out into the ethos. I'm sure it's been covered in length in different parts of the internet stratosphere, but, anyways, here's my take. I'm gonna read it. Give me 1 second. And if I butcher anything or mess up on the words or pronunciation, or I don't enunciate the right way, I apologize. Sorry for that ASMR. All right, here we go. If thou workest at that which is before thee, following right reason seriously, vigorously, calmly, without allowing anything else to distract thee, but keeping thy divine part pure, as if thou shouldn't be bound to give it back immediately. If thou holdest to this, expecting nothing, fearing nothing, but satisfied with thy present activity according to nature, and with heroic truth in every word and sound which thou utterest, thou wilt live happily. And there is no man who is able to prevent this. As physicians have always their instruments and knives ready for cases which suddenly require their skill, so do thou have principles ready for the understanding of things divine and human, and for doing everything, even the smallest, with the recollection of the bond which unites the divine and the human to one another. For neither will thou do anything well which pertains to man without at the same time having a reference to things divine, nor the contrary. I'm going to skip ahead a little bit just because I kind of like how it kind of transitions, okay? Body, soul, intelligence. To the body being sensations, to the soul appetites, to the intelligence principles. Excuse me. To receive the impressions of forms by means of appearances belongs even to animals. To be pulled by the strings of desires belongs both to wild beasts and to men who have made themselves into women, and to a Phalaris and a Nero. And to have the intelligence that guides to the things which appear suitable belongs also to those who do not believe in the gods, and who betray their country and do their impure deeds when they have shut the doors. If then everything else is common to all that I have mentioned, there remains that which is peculiar to the good man, to be pleased and content with what happens, and with the thread which is spun for him, and not to defile the divinity which is planted in his breast, nor disturb it by a crowd of images, but to preserve it tranquil, following it obediently as a god, neither saying anything contrary to the truth, nor doing anything contrary to justice. And if all men refuse to believe that he lives a simple, modest, and contented life, he is neither angry with any of them, nor does he deviate from the way which leads to the end of life, to which a man ought to come, pure, tranquil, ready to depart, and without any compulsion, perfectly reconciled to his lot. If we go back to the beginning, if thou workest at that which is before thee, following right reason seriously, vigorously, calmly, without allowing anything else to distract thee, but keeping thy divine part pure, as if thou shouldn't be bound to give it back immediately. If thou holdest to this, expecting nothing, fearing nothing, but satisfied with thy present activity according to nature, and with heroic truth in every word and sound which thou utterest, thou wilt live happily, and there is no man who is able to prevent this. I love this. I love this. I love this. I love this. As physicians have always their instruments and knives ready for cases which suddenly require their skill, so do thou have principles ready for their understanding of things divine and human, and for doing everything, even the smallest, with the recollection of the bond which unites the divine and human to one another. So, when we take life for granted, I feel like we disattach ourselves from our reality. And I think a lot of times we look at reality as what has been painted, what has been pushed, what has been made the agenda for the society that we inhabit. And in a lot of ways, if you don't have any foundational reference points, for a lot of people, that's religion. For a lot of people, that's a moral compass given to them by their parents or their grandparents or a TV character or a fictional character in general. You'll see why, in a lot of ways, in a lot of places, people kind of run amok. And it's not that you're not going to do anything impossible, or it's not that you're not going to do anything that will ever be wrong because you read that or because you're thinking of it or anything like that. It's the idea that you're not walking through the earth unsettled, unplanned, without any bearing. A lot of times things happen to us as human beings, and our nature is to react, 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 react. One of the things he mentions early is that his grandfather taught him, or what he learned from his grandfather. Let me read it to you. So, in book 1, literally like on the first page, he says, "From my grandfather Varus, I learned good morals and the government of my temper. From the reputation and remembrance of my father, modesty and a manly character. From my mother, piety and beneficence, and abstinence not only from evil deeds, but even from evil thoughts, and further simplicity in my way of living, far removed from the habits of the rich." I think a lot of us idolize attention, money, clout, fame, and people that hold on to those things or make us believe that we're better than what we are because we find ourselves to be more aligned with them, or we find ourselves to want to be more aligned with them. So you'll follow a content creator and you'll see a musician or an artist or actor, and you'll really enjoy their work, but you don't let it in there. You use them as like a muse of sorts to base your life off of. Like, you use them to say, hey, this person only eats at this place, so that's the only place I'm gonna eat. This person only wears these type of clothes, so that's the type of clothes I'm gonna go buy. If your mind is set in the right place, I think that what should become most attractive to you is individuality. But individuality not for the sake of being an individual, or in this case, or in a lot of cases, being a contrarian, just trying to be opposite of what's popular, but an individual that is comfortable and united in themselves. And it's hard. That I'm telling you, it might sound like I'm saying a whole bunch of mumbo jumbo, but it's hard. It's hard to kind of look at yourself in the mirror and embrace every thought, every pattern, every emotion, every negative feeling, and balance that with positive feelings. Every awkward feeling and balance that with comfort, and trying to figure out what's the place where I need to be in, but it's not trapping me or stalling my growth or stunting my growth. Where's the crowd I need to be around that is not prohibiting me from advancing in my position in life. And think about what that advancement is. That advancement doesn't have to always be a dollar amount. In today's world, everybody is so conflicted because all of us have learned habits of a grind culture that has made us believe if you just churn, you get X output from it. And what a lot of us are learning is that that's just not true. You could do 1,000 hours of work and never see the reward, or what you see is the reward that somebody that put in 1 hour did, right? There's artists today that blow up off of their first song that they recorded in the studio, and the guy or the girl that spent 10,000 hours perfecting their craft, they may have an audience of 5 listeners still. You might see that as a disappointment. You might see that as a letdown, as society failing itself. What you need to understand is that person that blew up overnight, they may look happy, they may seem happy, they may seem like everything is just so perfect and the world is so revealing and it's just so great and all their prayers have been answered. What people don't understand is that behind the scenes, the same way you go to sleep at night and you feel that level of, did I do what I was supposed to do today? Or I'll do it tomorrow. I'll do it next week. Don't worry. Everything will work out for me. But you get that inner monologue going on in the back of your brain that's kind of like, but I'm not doing all I need to do. I need to go back to the gym tomorrow. I need to stop eating so much. I need to stop thinking about him or her so much. When those things occur to you, you kind of trap yourself in this idea that it's just because you're not doing everything. You're not doing what you need to be doing. You just need to get to it and do it more. Just relax. Relax. Understand that it's natural to feel that way. All of us feel that way. Everyone goes to sleep at night thinking their lives should, could, and will be better, right? Some of us do it one night out the year. Some of us do it 356 nights out the year, or 365 nights out the year. Sorry. I think the balance is perfecting your love for positive growth. But you need an understanding of what positive growth is. You need something to base that off of. It's okay to say, I don't know what to base that off of. It's okay. If you were me, or if you were talking to me, I would tell you go read the Bible. If you were talking to me, I would tell you read Meditations by Marcus Aurelius. I don't have all the answers for you. I could never. But I think part of what is important is just admitting to ourselves that we've got things we need to work on and we're happy to work on it. Just be thankful you get to work on it. Be thankful you're not trapped in a prison cell or you're not sentenced to a life sentence of exile and you can never see your family or friends again or things of that nature. Just be grateful that you are able to breathe. That's a chance. That's an opportunity. That's a moment that everyone is not granted. And one day you won't be granted that. Nothing is forever. Nothing's permanent. So you just have to understand that some of these things are going to occur to you and it's going to hit you like a sucker punch, like something you never seen coming. But what's important is that you stay leveled. Everyone around you is going to want you to react. Everyone around you is going to say, wow, that person just got sucker punched. I bet if he doesn't do this, he's that. I bet if he doesn't do this, his girl is gonna leave him, or his partner is gonna hide in shame and embarrassment. Cross those bridges when they come. Do what's best for you. Continue down your path. Write it down. Make it plain. Write down what you want out of life. Write it down. Read that every night, every day. Remind yourself every day what you're trying to achieve. And keep that going. Don't let anything stop you from getting to where you have to get to. And try to have some foundation that allows you to ethically move through this world without transgressing against the souls that inhabit it. And your own, more importantly, your own soul. Anyways, that's enough mumbo jumbo talk from me. I'm going to keep reading. But I appreciate you guys. I'll catch you next time.